On today's episode of Real Hoop Hours, we open the show talking about some trade rumors surrounding Herb Jones and also looking at Paul George and why he's not playing quite as well as he should. Then we go straight into Team of the Week, followed by our Real Hoop Hours segment where we ask the question, is Victor Wembanyama being utilized correctly by the San Antonio Spurs? And we also look at the next generational talent coming into the NBA and if he will be used correctly. After that, we got our therapy session, some great stories there surrounding cologne and parking lot fiascos, and then our starting five draft of bad Christmas presents. Let's ride.
Welcome to the Real Hoop Hours podcast. Nick, how you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. Happy New Year.
There you go. Happy New Year to everybody. We took a week off because life was on our asses, but we're back. You know, with Real Hoop Hours this week. Oh yeah,
life,
Christmas,
family.
There we go. And basketball. Thankfully,
and basketball.
For me,
a lot of hoops. A lot of hoops.
Christmas Day was also really good for the NBA. So let's go ahead and clap that up. All right, the NBA genuinely did really good on Christmas, as the NFL had two complete ass whoopings on their Christmas days and games where you literally had to turn them off by mid-third quarter. And the NBA ended up doing really good by having great games from the start to finish.
I think the ratings, I think the NFL ratings were like still higher, technically.
It was still higher because they were
but they're better games.
Later in the year, top teams, and it's NFL. So the games matter.
People watch more. People are always going to watch, man.
Exactly. But it was with the NBA. Good job. I'll give you that. But we do have to get into the Good Morning NBA. All right. Nick, I want you to introduce the topic we have to start the show off.
Yeah. And this was, you brought this to my attention. I just haven't seen it. I think I've seen it a little bit here and there, but I didn't know it was serious. But apparently Mavs are really seriously looking at Herb, Mr. Herb Jones, Mr.
Yes,
Not on
sir.
Herb, which, I mean, since the Mavericks traded Dorian Finney-Smith to the Brooklyn Nets for Kyrie Irving, I'm like, man, I really miss Dodo. And I think that kind of guy is pretty much, we still need that dude. We need the 3-and-D wing. And PJ is kind of that. But he's more of a 4. Like he's a traditional 4.
He's not a wingman anymore.
No. And he does space the floor well. I think last year he shot the 3 at like a 33, maybe I think it was closer to like 35% by the end of the year clip. But man, if we could get like a 40% dude that guards 2 through 4-ish, or maybe 1 through 4. That would be awesome because PJ is like a 2 through 5, like 3 through 5 really defender. But I do like the idea of Herb. I really like Herb.
Oh, yeah. I think adding Herb Jones on your team in general is never going to be a bad idea. Like I always say, certain players in the NBA, if it almost doesn't matter about like how much you give up for them. I said Mikal Bridges is one of those also where it's like if you say to somebody that, hey, we just got Herb Jones. A lot of people aren't asking, oh, what did we give up? A lot of people are just happy at the fact that you got a dude like that in your team. That is never going to be a problem. Like, you're never going to sit there and, like, watch Herb play out there and be like, hey, why do we even give him minutes? Because he's a great defender. Great. And I'm not sure how well he's shooting because I haven't checked on the Pelicans all year, I will admit. But last time I checked, Herb was around 35 to 36% from 3, which is more than good enough if you're getting that good of defense from him. And on top of it, he's becoming a way better passer, which is what I noticed from. I think he'll fit perfectly. Now, the price for Herb Jones is again where I say you probably don't care too much, but for the Mavs, you do care because let's say they don't just have all the pieces to just give up for him. Because if you add Herb Jones, it's not like he's the final piece you need for that team. So I love the fit so much though.
This year, he's shooting 29 from 3, but last year he shot 41, almost 42. And that makes sense because think about like the guys that create open looks for guys like Herb by just having gravity or, finding him when he's open, have not been playing a ton. It's been a mess in New Orleans.
At all, actually.
So he's probably not taken a ton. I think his attempts are up, actually, but I'd have to imagine that the quality of shot has gotten worse. When Zion's on the floor, it's like everything. The second he gets in the paint, everyone collapses. So if he's not playing, then you're probably not getting great looks from three for a guy like Herb. It's catch and shoot only.
Yeah, I will say about that 41% is that it was a good half of the year. Teams still thought he couldn't shoot. So I will admit it was like it took teams forever to adjust the fact that Herb is actually a good shooter now. So like teams were leaving him open. Like you said, Zion would drive in and they would collapse off of Herb, and it would be like, and he would just knock these down.
Yeah, if you're gonna leave a guy, because that's like I heard it explained one way of like the NBA is not like and I've said this before on the show, but the NBA is not a what are we going to stop league defensively when you're game plan. It's like what do we got to stop? It's like what are we okay with? What are we going to live with?
Yeah.
And a Herb Jones 3, after his first 2 years, he shot 33% both years. That's what you live with, and then he shot 41%. So at least he's capable
he wasn't
of that.
Comfortable handling the ball. Yeah, he wasn't comfortable handling the ball to start off. So then he would just kind of like catch it, and then if he didn't like the three, he would just kind of dribble like nervously. It's like now he like actually is making plays. So it's like
he can drive closeouts, make a play for sure.
Drive closeouts, good passer. It's like he's smart, understands. That's why I personally love the fact that Herb is on the trade block, not for the Pelicans exactly, but just selfishly, I want him in a better situation because I think he could be incredibly important for a team. Yeah. So Mavs, I mean, do all you can, but I will admit, whatever price the Mavs can put up, I can bet you money the other team can.
Yeah, I think unfortunately we probably have to deal.
My Wizards probably.
Wait, what about your Wizards?
I was saying we can put in a little ticket for Herb Jones.
A little three-way trade where the Wizards just get rid of two players and get like a 2 second-round draft picks.
Look, I would say, I personally want Herb on the team, so I wouldn't mind if we want to put in our little bet to get Herb Jones. Now, I just said I want him in a better situation. That's not a better situation. That's actually an equal situation, but I think that would,
slightly. Is it slightly better?
No, actually, it is slightly better because we have less losses. Yeah, we have less losses.
Wizards are 5-25. Pelicans are 5-28.
We have 3 less losses.
Yes, sir.
Less
losing.
Yes, sir. Less losing. That's what matters. Not more winning, less losing. I actually personally would want Herb on the team for the Wizards, mostly because now we have an actual core, and on top of it, a lot of the pick we have some extra assets that we don't need. So I would just, let's see, we get 3-team this, a little bit. Now I have zero clue how 3-team trades ever work, so I don't have any proposals. But hey, let's just see what we can do. Mavs, that'll be a great win now situation. Wizards, we can build.
Hey,
we can build.
I'm not going to fault you for dreaming. I'm not going to fault you.
Yeah, and I will say our picks don't matter too much. If it's not the number 1 pick, we can't keep drafting dudes over and over. So after this year, give them picks up. So I would personally be perfectly fine with Herb Jones for 2 firsts. Would you say is probably the asking price?
Yeah, I mean
2.
I think like 2 firsts and 1 real asset, or like a first and a young player, like a young solid player. Like I don't know if Quentin Grimes counts as a young solid player, but he's like young-ish. Quentin's like 24, 25, but
Quentin would average 20 post-trade Pelicans.
I can see that. They just but they already have Jordan Clarkson. Does the same thing essentially, but Q-Dot plays D. But either way, I do want to talk about Paul George because we had 2 things for this Good Morning NBA. And Paul George right now, he's played, 20-something games?
20 games, yep. 20 games exactly.
Paul George is averaging 15 points a game, and his last 3 games, he scored 9 points, 13 points, 12 points, and he made
That last one
4 shots in each of those games. He is.
I mean,
is Paul George in a Sixers jersey? Is this Celtics Shaq? People are asking.
People,
it's time to ask the question. Yeah,
people
is this
are presenting this forward to us.
What was it like? Where did Hakeem play late in his career? Was it like the Magic
Raptors.
Or something? What is it? Raptors?
Yeah, but yeah, Pat was on the Magic. I don't.
Yeah, Pat Ewing.
Yeah.
That's right.
I will say we will see Paul George 38 in a Lakers jersey. So we're not at Celtics Shaq yet. Like we're not at that moment yet, but
he's 34. That's wild that Paul George is 34.
Yeah. It sounds crazy, but like I genuinely I've said this before. I'm like, hey guys, I don't think y'all understand how old a lot of our stars are. I know they don't look old, but like Jimmy is 35.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Same situation. Like
another guy on the Mavs trade block or like list.
Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of Jimmy talk. But
I don't think people understand why the talk is a little weird is because he's old. He's 35.
Yeah,
he clearly doesn't have the burst that you're used to during those finals runs. Like he clearly doesn't have that. To that same degree.
All the injuries too. That jump takes a toll on your body. Like, remember when he snapped his leg in half? Remember when he Kevin Wared himself?
Yeah.
Like that, and then also he started the year he got hurt twice, right? One of them was like a bad hyperextension.
Yeah, one was a hyperextension. The other one was a minor one, but the minor one it combined with the hyperextension was like, oh, okay, we had to sit him down for.
That'll take a toll on your body. So
he's having one of those years. But I'm the hope is that he gets healthier throughout the year, and by playoff time, you got a healthy, ready to go Paul George. But at the moment, we are staring at maybe not Celtics Shaq. We're looking at late Cavs right now at the moment, and we're hoping that I am hoping as a huge Paul George fan. I'm just hoping that he finds a way because I've watched these games. I'm like, oh my god, like because I don't know people. Some people have that like feeling where they watch one of their favorite players start to clearly deteriorate. Like Russell, and when I saw him play on the Lakers, it was starting. It felt like gunshots every time he hit the backboard on an elbow jumper.
He still does that. Where he gets to he drives to the left block and then just hard jump stop, pull up and tries to bank it and shoots it off the top of the backboard. And it's I don't think I've ever done that in my entire life. And I do like that shot too. Drive left and then kind of fade like glass from the block area. It's I know you're trying to get it over like NBA athletes, but how do you consistently it's not like he does it once a year. No, it's a few times, at least a few times a season that he's shooting the ball over the top of the backboard.
It's a loss of control because he's trying this weird his jumper looks way different than it did his OKC years because he's holding it more now. Yeah. So if you watch his MVP or the years his prime years after KD left especially his jumper was more of a one motion. And he's now
really I feel like he always stopped.
No, he always stopped. No, I'm saying on his jumper it will be one motion forward versus now he's pulling it back now.
Oh.
Where because a one motion jumper you hitch it back a little bit, but it's really just for a little bit of power. But he's fully hitching now. So what you're seeing is that that's why he's hitting the top of the backboard and shit is because he's fully hitching and letting it fly. And you're like, oh my God, Russ, just lightly put it up. It's such his jumper's so weird now. And the first time I seen him shoot that, I almost cried. I'm not gonna lie to you because it's what is that? Who taught him that? And
it's
why
definitely
is he
herky jerky.
33.
I feel like it's been herky-jerky his whole career. Like, he just used to
whole career has been a little bit
dribble right at people
there.
and then just stop from the mid-range, and he would jump and get the ball here, like, on the way up, and then he would just hold it, and then right at the top, almost on the way down, he's, like, releasing.
Yeah, 2K
dude, watching Russell Westbrook just cash, like, elbow jumpers, like, off of what appeared like the most ferocious drive in the world, stop on a dime and just let it fly.
Yeah.
Oh,
his knees
stuff.
are also incredible. They had vibranium in them in the beginning. So, yeah. But Paul, again, I hope, we don't have to see you go through the Russell Westbrook experience, man. Just
Celtics
Paul,
Shaq.
just get back to your spots and please get healthy. Oh my God, I can't watch this any longer.
Yeah, but hey, Sixers finding mediocrity.
There we go.
They're back. They're not at the bottom of the East anymore. They're at the middle bottom of the East.
Yeah, they were barely above the Wizards. So that's I gotta give them that.
13 and 17, I believe. So,
and honestly,
shout out the Sixers.
Yeah, shout out the Sixers, and that'll honestly lead me right to the team of the week for this week.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's just hop in
because we're talking about ass, right? We're talking about bad teams. So can we?
That is one thing we love to talk about on the show is ass.
Oh, a lot of it, right? And why don't we talk about the bottom of the barrel, the most ass team in the world,
the ass of the
NBA, and they don't play in Washington.
The pimple on the ass of the NBA.
The New Orleans Pelicans are my team of the week.
Clap it up.
Clap it up, everybody. Clap it up, everybody.
I have to ask why.
And now, why? Because sometimes when you're bad, right? When you're doing bad, right? You get in your apartment, you have nothing but bologna packs in there. You have the ends of the bread, right? There's no juice in there, straight water bottles. It's not even name brand. It's the store brand.
Great value.
You open the freezer, you had nothing but ice cubes in there, right? So you're like, all right, well, I have a bologna and ice cube sandwich for myself today. I'm doing bad. Sometimes you need to realize that I need to change my situation, right? Oh, wow, I have this PS5 here. What am I doing with this PS5 when I can't eat? Oh, well, I had this 70-inch TV. Why do I have this TV if I can't eat? Right? If I can't live, why do I have all these nice things?
It's the Lambo in the carport.
Look, and the Pelicans sat there and said, well, I have a damn Lambo outside, but I have no food in the fridge. Well, got to start giving these things up. All right? Now the Pelicans are finally open to trading their pieces. CJ, I'm not sure. I haven't looked on. He probably just didn't have a lot of interest.
Everyone's on the board. Like,
okay,
the only guy I hadn't seen was Herb and Trey. But you say that like there's talks of Herb. Yeah. Like,
so Zion also, just to make sure.
Yep.
So the Pelicans are now saying everybody can get traded. I didn't know if Zion was a part of it, but they finally understand. You got all these nice pieces around this dirty ass crib. It's finally time to start selling these pieces off so you can have a nicer living experience. And I got to say, guys, that is a great thing. That's a great thing. Oh, my God. At some point, we all get to the point where we understand. And for the Pelicans, they are 5-28, statistically the worst team in the NBA by over 3 games, actually, from the Wizards. And, guys, I got to give it up for you finally understanding that the second we're worse than the Wizards, there has to be a change.
It's so crazy because they were like trading for DeJounte. This is the last piece we need. Win now. And then they're like, it took 3 months for them to be like, we are the worst team in the league. Let's just completely blow it up. Willie Green's probably getting fired at the end of the year too. Poor Willie.
You know what? I would say for me to you, right? Do we, like, if you were the GM, would you genuinely fire Willie?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, like, I personally have said there, I'm just like, I know I've seen a lot of people cape for him. And it'd be like, oh, this team is that, like, nobody's there. But I'm like, if you watch a Pelicans game, Willie's
for the sake of him, I'm probably not firing him because I think he's this awful coach. I'm firing him because if we're going to start fresh, let's start fresh.
Yeah, complete, just everything.
Exactly. And maybe they believe in Willie. Maybe they'll keep him around and let him be a part of the rebuild because it's a new GM as well. So we'll see. But my team of the week, no one's talking about him. I feel like they deserve some conversation at least because they lost their best player and are still playing well. And when they get their best player back, they're going to be a problem in the East. But it's the Orlando Magic. Clap it up for the Magic.
There we go. Good job, Magic.
I want to obviously mention the fact that Paolo has been out since Game 5 of the season.
Yeah, Game 5.
Torn pec or oblique or something. One of the weird ones.
Yeah,
was. And in the meantime, Franz Wagner is averaging 24 points a game. Not shooting it great from deep. 32, better than last year's 28, though. But I'm not surprised that that's low because he's a solid spot-up shooter, but if he has to pull up from deep, if that's how he's getting the majority of his three-point looks, it's not going to be great. But even with that being said, I know he's taking more pull-ups because Paolo is in there. Still shooting 32. And also just knowing that you have that when Paolo comes back to he's like, hey, this is a very confident Franz Wagner. Going to take the pressure off of Paolo, which was what already was happening, but you know what he's capable of. If you do need Paolo's having a bad night, okay, let's let Franz go and see if Paolo can play off of him and take that secondary role if needed. Like a Luka Kyrie situation. There's a clear number one, but the number two can play better than the number one on any given night. But also career high in assists right now. But last year averaged 3 and some change. This year averaging almost 6. So
there we go.
That's playing really better with the ball in his hands more.
Yeah, he needed more reps as a ball handler because that's one of the things that coming out in Michigan, he wasn't getting a lot of reps just handling the ball, just making plays, and that's the main.
Did he go to Michigan, or was it just Mo?
Yeah. No, it was Franz. Franz went there too. I watched him.
Oh,
yeah! Swear to God,
I don't know why I thought he came. He came straight from overseas.
Oh no! He was from overseas, but then he went to Michigan for a year, or is it 2 years? No, 2 years. Sorry, he just didn't play a lot his first year.
Yeah,
and that was the main thing is that because he was a Euro, a lot of Euro players don't come over here, especially when they're taller, with a lot of experience ball handling the ball. So he went to Michigan, and they tried. They would give him some opportunities, but not really enough in my eyes to really unlock a player that we see right now that can genuinely run offense for a little bit. I don't particularly want Franz to be my lead guard, but I do love the fact that you could just kind of just give him the ball sometimes. He could just make plays.
Yeah,
that's perfect for Franz.
He's just a good player. Yeah. He's not your primary ball handler for sure, but. I have to mention one more guy. I'll mention two more. But Goga Bitadze.
There we go.
He was borderline out of the league in Indiana. He got in a fight with Rick Carlisle, I think. Or maybe it was whoever the coach was before. But he's having a great year, having a fantastic year.
Yeah.
Good rim protector, space the floor a little bit, just rebounds, finishes. And then also Cole Anthony. He's having a good year. I saw him give that little post-game speech, and he was like, man, I love it here, man. Good. Because I think people expected him to be this crazy thing. Because he was the Chris Brickley golden boy, went to UNC, was solid, and then was a lottery-ish pick, I believe. And
late lottery, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and just kind of I think people expected him to be a star. And he's not, but he's still a really good player, and he's definitely found a lot of success in Orlando. But
generally Cole Anthony, a decade ago, would have been a star, though. We can all kind of acknowledge. Yeah, the NBA
Cole Anthony in the Monte Ellis era.
I'll tell you, Cole Anthony, one of the things I said is that Cole Anthony's on that list of dudes that if you just sat there and said, hey, you get 20 shots a game, Cole Anthony would average absolutely stupid numbers.
And there's a lot of guys like that in the league, but it's just it's not built like that. It's getting to the point where it's there's so many shots a game and everyone's just taking the first good look at the three they get that there's a lot of guys that take 15, 16 shots a game who 5 years ago would be taking 6. So
that's why when it comes to Cole, it's I love to see him in this type of situation with Paolo out thriving because this is kind of the situation that people wanted him to be in. And he's not exactly like some superstar or anything, but it looks good. Like he looks comfortable.
Yeah.
Just, handling the ball constantly, being a main scorer. Like that's really nice to me, is to see him comfortable. Because Cole Anthony was one of my favorite players coming out also of the draft. Like
Does he start for them now?
I'm pretty sure he's still off the bench.
Okay. Who starts at the 1 for the Magic?
Oh God. Look at this. Talking about Magic.
I'm looking it up.
No, I'm about to say,
Suggs. It's probably Suggs.
Yeah, Suggs still. Because I know Cole is still coming off the bench.
Yeah, they got a lot of just like point guards. They got Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, Cole Anthony. That is kind of like a weird. And they got Corey Joseph too, and Trevelyan Queen.
Oh, that's the G League MVP, right?
I got that right. I don't know. Maybe he was. Yeah, Mac McClung is technically he's got a 2-way deal with the Magic.
Oh, see. I mean, I don't know why Mac does it. I need to get my boys.
The Osceola Magic. I might be the only NBA like creator that could name every like G League affiliate.
And honestly,
Miami Skyforce.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne Mad Ants.
See, you just took the one I was about to say. Okay, well, I mean,
Maine Red Claws.
South Bay Lakers.
Santa Cruz Warriors.
Oh God. Shit.
Texas Legends.
LA Clippers. I forgot it.
Actually, I don't know if I know the Clippers one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I knew that one because Kenny Lofton played there for a little bit, and I watched Kenny. Who was it? And I only know South Bay Lakers because of Bronny. So yeah, I'm not.
Wisconsin Herd.
That's actually their name.
Yeah, HERD, Wisconsin Herd.
Okay. You know what's crazy? You know what's also pissed me off about me not knowing the G League names is I literally, for the draft, every single year watch G League games for the draft, and I forget their names the second I'm done. Like I literally there's the Albuquerque something. Like I'm pretty sure
there's a team in Albuquerque.
I'm pretty sure there's an Albuquerque team. Because I remember looking it up and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then never turn it on again, And I was like,
Alabama's finest, Birmingham Squadron, another one. Squadron, great name, but
Squadron's fire. And I looked them up doing G League Ignite. The draft profiles? And I'm be honest with you, they were a little too nice. And I was like, "This is just bad film at this point." They were just killing G League Ignite.
Jackson Hayes, Birmingham Squadron legend.
There you go.
All right. Well, that is it for Team of the Week. Shout out Magic. Shout out the Pelicans. New Orleans fans, we're praying for you. I'll be there. Be there in January 15th. Pels Mavs. The girlfriend got me tickets. Dude, like 3 rows back, lower bowl in the kind of in the corner, right behind the Mavs tunnel.
Hey,
shout out the shorty.
Have fun watching Alfred Payton, man.
Hey, I'll be psyched to watch Alfred, bro. But
that's a good game right there. Yeah.
We got to get into our Real Hoop Hours segment. It's a good one.
Yes,
we are going to be talking about Wemby and another player who we will get to, but the utilization of Victor Wembanyama has been very weird this year. It's not what a lot of people, myself included, envisioned for him. And I talked about this in a video that I made a while ago, and I think we talked about it on the pod a little bit, but I criticized Greg Popovich's usage of him and essentially the spots where he catches the ball. So the question we're going to be asking is, how should Victor Wembanyama be used? Is he, being used? Are they maximizing his potential and ability in the way that they utilize him on the floor offensively? Because defensively, whatever, you just let him fly around, you let him be Wemby.
He's leading the league in blocks, so just
exactly.
Him,
So, but offensively, I feel like he's kind of up and down. He has some crazy outputs, but this also goes with the way that the game revolves around the 3 right now. But he does a lot of perimeter floating, and most of his touches he's catching it behind the 3-point line. And I feel like they tried to force feed him for a while to get him into the paint, but his center of gravity is just too high, and he ends up getting pushed out and catching like a step or two inside. So they just said like, fuck it, let's just have him catch like at the like 4 feet behind the 3-point line. Let him shoot it.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Personally, I don't like the idea of just throwing him in the paint, because one of the things that people don't understand is that as much as Wemby is 7'5", 7'4", sorry, I get that wrong all the time.
Once you get past 7'1", 7'2", it's all, you're huge.
Yeah, it all is
whatever.
the same. Yeah, but as much as he's 7'4", 7'5", dudes that are guarding him are also 6'10", 6'11", right? And a lot of people don't understand, because these are huge dudes, that like if you've ever guarded somebody that's 6 inches taller than you, yeah, it looks crazy, but after a while you figure out how to guard them, right? Like it looks, you look at it, you're like, oh my God, this dude is 6'5". How am I supposed to guard him? But you start to understand center of gravity. You start to understand how they throw their weight around. You start to understand, how can I find a way to still guard this dude? And when it comes to Wemby, the place that they're starting to find out how to guard him is on the block, on that elbow. Because, again, he doesn't have much weight on him at the moment. He's tall, lanky. It's going to be hard for him just to wedge his way into the paint. That's why, personally, I do like the idea of having him catch it around the 3-point line. I don't like how far he's catching it. I will admit that. I do want most of his possessions to be started off a little bit past the elbow, a little bit right at the 3-point line, because I want him to be able to step back into a 3 rather than be staring at a 3.
Because he can shoot that shot. That's not a bad shot for him. Like, he doesn't need much separation, you know?
Yeah. I want him to have more of a face-up game than a back-down game. Because one of the problems that I have with old heads on every single one of my videos is they still think backing down as a center is a good idea. And
it's not a great idea for everyone.
No, it's not.
Nikola Jokic?
It's for
great.
Jokic, Embiid, I even say for Embiid sometimes, he gets such tunnel vision that I don't even think that's a good idea for him at times. I think the only way that you can really have a dude that's that good backing down is if their head is looking for a pass at all times. Jokic is looking for a pass the whole time and then stumbles across a bucket. He'll sit there and be like looking at he's backing down.
And he's like, oh
wow,
shoot,
2 feet.
I'm right under the rim and this dude's buried under the hoop. I can just flick it up
right there. Like he's looking for the pass so that nobody can just double him, and then he ends up getting a basket. Victor can't do that at the moment because he's not going to be moving people.
Center of gravity is too high.
It's just too high, and there's no
his ass is hitting people in the chest.
Yeah. Brother, he's not moving it. Like, he's not moving people like that. And on top of it, people are allowed to hit him when he's down low. And that's what I'm saying. Hey, we can get Victor the ball in the elbow, and he can now. And even the elbow is a little too close, because I notice teams are digging in really well. So what they'll do is that he'll catch him in the elbow, and then there'll be a man at the top of the key, especially if it's Stephon Castle at the moment, who isn't exactly the most comfortable shooter in the world. And on top of it, he's a rookie, so they want him to just shoot him. And teams will just, like the Knicks did this on Christmas.
They'll live with it.
Wemby would catch it, elbow, and then they'll dig in. And then Wemby has to acknowledge them. And during that time, the shot clock's going down, and he's wasting time. So then Wemby's like, oh, I can't jab that way. Let me go
Makes
the
him
other
pick
way.
up his dribble, too. If he is trying to back down. And then it's like, if they fly out, then it's just a dead ball on the block or like 15 feet away if you didn't get that deep.
Can't do anything with it. He just wasted a scoring opportunity because the team is just making him think more. And it's not a thing of Wemby being like not having great IQ. It's a situation of what is this dude doing? Because if I do want to drive there, is he going to have his hand in? Because if Wemby, as great of a ball handler he is, he's still very lanky. So if he starts a dribble somewhere, if somebody's in the way, it's a turnover. So, and Wemby understands that. And that's why I've tried to get people to understand, is like, hey, the best thing we could do for him is actually catch it on the 3-point line, because he's 7'4", and if he just rises up, there's not a lot of pressure there.
He's got a good enough handle too, to where he can change. If he just does put it on the floor, he can change directions, or he can just not change direction and just take 2 steps after one dribble from the 3-point line and just be at the rim.
Easy. And that's one of the things where it's like I saw a stat of Wemby having one more like dunk than he has 3-pointers this year. And then people are losing their mind. They're like, oh my God, he's 7'4", he's not at the rim. It's like, he's skinny. All right, when we get a bigger Wemby, yeah, we could throw him closer to the rim. But for now, if also, side note, the idea of getting him comfortable at the 3-point line, then integrating more plays at the rim later sounds like an absolutely amazing idea because it's probably way easier to learn how to get a post move at the rim, how to get a post hook, or how to get a little fade from 10 feet than shooting step back threes. That seems a little easier to learn,
Yeah,
and I feel like making the process backwards will actually help Wemby in a way.
Yeah, and that's a great point. That is a fantastic point, that getting there backwards. I like the way you said that, because he has that he has the skill set to hit those kind of in between, not like all the way to the rim shots. He does have that, but it's getting to those spots that's tough for him. The way you make it easier on being able to get to those spots is that you force people to play you further out. It opens things up for your game. If they have to be worried about you catching from 28 feet deep, then that's going to be easier to get to that, 8 to 15 foot range if you do want to get there, which right now it's, the question is, why would you shoot that if you can shoot a 3 and you can shoot it close to a similar percentage, or you can get to the rim? But I wanted to bring up something that caught my eye. So he shot about, let's see, I switched pages, but he shot last year 5.5 threes per game. This year, he's shooting 9.4 threes per game. And I know in some previous episodes, or one specifically, we looked at 3-point attempts among individual players. And at the beginning of the year, it was nuts. We had guys shooting like 12 or 13 a game. That has come down to earth a little bit. It's still high. But right now, Victor Wembanyama shoots the 8th most threes of any player per game in the NBA. Here's some guys that he's shooting more threes than per game. Damian Lillard, Peyton Pritchard, Jordan Poole,
that's crazy.
Trae Young, Norman Powell, James Harden, Klay Thompson, Fred VanVleet, Devin Booker.
Shooting more threes than Klay Thompson is an insane idea. I will
admit. Granted, it's
but
more shots to be had in San Antonio. Like, Klay's just not taking that many shots this year comparative to the glory years in Golden State. But also, shout out Keontae George. Remember, he was shooting like 11 threes per game? Down to 7.7. So, good for Keontae.
Thank you, Keontae. Thank you. Jesus. I was asking for that for so long.
Sidebar, right. Brandon Miller, another sidebar at least. Brandon Miller shooting the most in the league at 11. And then below him, Jason Tatum, Steph Curry, and Edwards.
Did he just take over LaMelo's role?
LaMelo is
crap ton of threes.
LaMelo's not even. He may not. Has LaMelo got hurt?
Now
right?
He's been injured for a minute. So
that is also. Has LaMelo played a full season this year, or even close to it? No, not this year, but in his career. But yeah, no, I don't think so.
His career. I actually have no clue. Actually,
I don't think he's ever.
Rookie year. He played his rookie in the second.
I feel like he got hurt his rookie year too.
Oh,
I feel like he always every season he's been out for at least for more than 2 months. Every season he's played, but
and then Brandon Miller now takes the 11 threes. My God, I got to give it to him though. But I will. But I do understand. I will say, we both of us understand the people that look at that and say that's crazy. That why is Wemby shooting that many threes? But again, at the end of the day, I don't think people understand. The San Antonio is looking to make the best Victor Wembanyama. At the end of the day, he's got to go through phases where he shoots a little maybe too many threes in this stretch of his career. But then he gets to one point where he needs to shoot more threes, or then he needs to shoot more mid-range shots, or gets in the post more. There's going to be different eras to him. And right now, while he's still trying to figure out how to score consistently, having him further away from the basket is the way you do it. So that's why I always like to ask the question of how would you build if we were the coaches, how we would build him for the future. San Antonio's doing exactly what I would do. Is I'm not going to worry about what everybody's trying to tell me that, oh, he's not at the rim the whole time. I'm trying to get him better to the future. And at the moment, this is the best way to give him that comfortability. Because at the moment, we're not competing for championships. We want, when we do compete for championships, him being comfortable everywhere.
Playoff team right now. 9 seed. Nice. Technically a playoff team.
There you go. Not an old NBA doing it.
Also, if the playoffs started today, the Detroit Pistons would be in the playoffs. The last team.
Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear right there. Let me go ahead and clap it for Detroit too.
Clap it up.
Let's go and give everybody credit to that. Yeah.
I also like what you said about, being a face-up guy. I think like that was probably what he thought he would be, or maybe that was, the vision for him all along, but it might have just been getting him out of the mindset of like, yeah, you're not going to be able to back down dudes in the NBA. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yeah. He didn't do that much of that in France anyways, but I think it was something he always had in the bag of like, yeah, I can lean on this guy and get to the rim. Like, no, not against Jonas Valanciunas, not against Nikola Jokic, Steven Adams, Alperen Şengün, Goga Bitadze. You can't do that on those guys. Your center of gravity is too high, and for someone who is 7'5", you weigh less than a lot of these dudes, or about the same. So that's a good point of like get him nice in the face-up game, but he couldn't catch the ball within 15 feet because he's getting pushed out, and then when he does, like you said, there's a lot of digs that happen from the wing in the corner. So it's like I think where they arrived at was, okay, well, let's just have him catch it at the 3-point. Why have him waste his energy and waste possessions of trying to let him get solid position and then ending up catching the ball just a few feet from the 3-point line anyways? Let's just have him catch it at the 3-point line and just let him, like whatever sets we do run for him, let's just run it from out there. And then if they don't want to step, shoot it, Victor. They don't have a ton of floor spacers that play good minutes in San Antonio. If Victor Wembanyama is one of your better floor spacers, leave him out there.
There you go. And it also helps Stephon Castle a ton. Yeah. That's one of the things I've said is that it's like,
get him out of the way. Like, get Victor out of the way for Steph to get downhill.
Boom. That's one of the things that I don't think people like really understand is I was like, Wemby has to help his teammates too. Where like Wemby being on the 3-point line helps everybody. Like nobody, like that's the modern NBA today of nobody's hurt by a dude spacing the floor.
Yeah, if he can shoot it.
Yeah, if he can, and Victor could shoot it really well.
Shooting 35 from 3 on 9 attempts per game. Yeah. That is impressive as hell.
That's really good. Second year on top of it. It's like, dude, that's really good to get out of your center. And secondly, if you have a rookie that you have a lot of promise in, like, hey, Victor, just give him let's just go into the corner real quick just for this one possession so we can have Stephon give us some space. I would love to have a center that could just do that. I don't exactly need him to be involved in everything, which is the point of what San Antonio is trying to do also, is they're trying not to make, because that was the problem last year, is Victor was involved in everything. Where it's like you got a Chris Paul, then you got Stephon Castle because you want dudes that can handle their own. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, we don't need Victor to be like involved in every single play because that's going to build bad habits. Yeah, this is one of the things that is like it's very imperative for dudes. If your name's not LeBron James, if your name's not Luka Doncic, you don't want dudes that are involved in every single action because that's going to lead them to be very lazy on offense when they don't have the ball in their hands, a la James Harden. Right, who got used to always having the ball in his hand, so the second you take it out, he's just standing. You don't want that for Victor in any way possible at 7'4". Have him be a off-ball player. Have him learn how to play off of people. And that's why like I don't question San Antonio personally, because I think they have an actual vision and they have an actual way they want to go about getting Victor better. Yeah. And that's why I personally agree. I agree with how they're doing it.
Yeah, and I felt weird. I didn't know how this conversation was going to go. I didn't have something in my mind before we started, but earlier in the year, I was like, there are ways to get him better touches in the paint or closer to the paint than what they are doing. But throughout the course of the conversation, I'm like, yeah, maybe like this is fine. It's not like they have, it's not like they have this championship roster that they're trying to make it work and Victor is the answer and he has to be the guy. It's like, no, like you don't have to have the ball in his hands all the time. Like if you have guys that can score in the paint and Victor is an option that you have a lot of times to kick the ball out and have shooting a catch and shoot three or driving a closeout, that's a really, really good place to be.
7'4" dude driving a closeout. I would love that actually.
Yeah, and he's capable. Like I said, it's one dribble, 2 steps, and he's dunking the ball.
Yeah.
Like
and nobody's stopping him at the rim whatsoever.
Yeah, and now this kind of leads me in to our next thought and kind of the other guy, because I think early in his career, Victor, they were like, let's get him the ball as close as we can to the rim, and he just has to like drop it in. That's the answer. And the result has kind of been, no, that's not exactly the case. You don't need to force that. You don't try to like twist people's arms into letting Victor get in the paint. But the next generational talent coming into the league is Cooper Flagg.
Yep.
And he has a bit of a unique skill set. And I think I have a prediction. He's going to get in the league. And if he gets drafted to a bad situation, they're just going to be like, hey, let's give Cooper the ball and get out of the way. And it's not going to work.
In any way possible.
No.
Like, it's literally not going to work.
Because I don't think he's that kind of player. I think he is a little more similar to Victor in the way of like, he's a solid catch and shoot guy from 3. I don't think he's we want this guy taking 5 pull-up threes a game. Like, no, I don't think so. I think, it's weird, but I would call him, and I don't know if this is a great comparison, but a cross between Zion and Victor. He is a stupid athlete. He's going to erase a lot of mistakes on the defensive end. He's just going to make plays on that end. He's going to be a monster in transition, but I don't think he's a give him the ball and get out of the way, because Zion is a little bit of that. Give him the ball, get out of the way, let him draw 2 and kick, or let him take the one-on-one, put his shoulder into someone's chest and just put him under the rim and finish. But he's got a little bit more of that than Victor does. But I think it might be a situation where, like, hey, if you draft Cooper Flagg, because everyone's saying tank for Cooper. So, I expect him to be ISOing dudes and just getting us buckets. Like, no, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're going to have him out of the way a lot of the time. But what are your thoughts? I know we both have watched a fair amount of Cooper Flagg. So,
yeah, I will say Cooper. I have watched less Cooper than probably like the rest of the top 10 in the draft, because with Cooper, it was very simple to me. Is that Cooper ball handling wise looks like Jaylen Brown. And this is something that it's not a dig at Cooper or a dig at Jaylen Brown. They just have the same style of dribbling where the ball is always a little further out than you like it. Where it leads to times where you look at Cooper like, oh, that was a nice move because he can do a.
He hung it out there.
Oh yeah, he'll say having it hung cross, and then you're like, oh my god, like, that was a good move.
I need a quote box. Cooper likes to have it hung, or Cooper has it hung.
Okay, just don't post it too much. But the thing
Cooper
about Cooper is that Cooper is like really good when he's prepared for the possession. Is what I like to call it. Is that when you sit there and say, okay, I catch the ball here, I'm looking that I can get to that spot if I make this move. That's when he's good. That's when he can handle the ball really well. But the problem is when he has to react. That's where he's not good at the moment. And that's something that I don't think you ever, from my experience of watching players, you don't just get like great at that if you don't have it already, the understanding already there.
I have a question. Right? What do you mean by react? Are you meaning like he has to create, or he just has to make decisions in general?
Yeah, reacting meaning I like something like a pick and roll, right? Where you're reading and reacting.
Okay, so more so like heavy decision making.
Yeah, decision making, exactly. But more or less when it comes to the scoring perspective of sitting there and saying, okay, this dude jumped to my right hand. Okay, behind the back left, one step, one dribble jumper, right? He doesn't really have that. If he can predetermine what's happening, he's great. But if he has to read and react immediately to be able to get baskets, I don't think he can do that at a NBA level. But one of the things I've noticed is that off the ball, he's a beast.
He's fantastic.
That's one of the things I love about him is that he has a really good understanding of positioning. So when Duke uses him as an off-ball player, and he's able to come around screens and kind of determine how he wants to use his physicality, great. Which is how I personally think he has to be used, kind of like a Jaylen Brown, where, yeah, every once in a while you want to just give him the ball, But if you keep doing it over and over and over,
he doesn't need to be super high usage. Yeah,
it shouldn't be, and I think is actually a great thing. That's something that should be celebrated, not be looked down on. That the dude that you're going to be the best player in your team doesn't need to be high usage.
Yeah,
that's a great thing.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's funny. You said like I would say reactionary. I would say like if I was just using my verbiage, not by your definition, what you just said of reaction, I would say that he is a great reactionary player. But he's not a like, he's not a creator, is what I would say for what you're saying. There
we go.
So it's we're what's the word I'm looking for? We're splitting hairs at this point on verbiage, but like I would say his reaction when he does catch the ball and someone just has a little bit longer of a closeout, that's where he's great because he's going to have the mindset of I'm either going to shoot this or I'm going to be getting downhill. And if I get downhill, he's just like, hey, you stepped here. I'm gonna go tween, and then I'm 2 steps into the hoop. And his bag in terms of different avenues to get to the rim is plentiful. He has no shortage there. And he is great. Of like, hey, this longer closeout, I'm going to really sell this pump fake and get to the rim efficiently. But yeah, if the offense loses rhythm, the set breaks down, this Cooper is not the guy like, hey, let's kick it to him and everyone else get out of the way for him to just go get us a bucket, at least all the time. I think he is that he can be, but it's not like every single time down the floor like Luka or Kyrie, okay, shot clock's at 8, get him the ball, and that's our shot clock play. That should not be the game plan with Cooper Flagg. But
at all.
I like what you said about he's not going to be a pick and roll guy. He's not going to be like Jaylen Brown, I think is a perfect example. Honestly, you hit the nail right on the head there. Like Jaylen Brown, and I'll say he's even, he steps ahead of Jaylen Brown where Jaylen Brown was when he came in the league, but similar map for sure of I can see him becoming a fantastic isolation scorer, especially in the mid-range. I can see him being a guy that does have the coach is like, yeah, you're allowed to shoot mid-range shots whenever you want. Everyone else on the team, we want threes and layups, but that's a good point. And I like what you said about you don't want him creating. You want him being we want his decisions to be minimal, you know. But,
and the second I saw him do, I remember I watched one game where he did a pump fake and drive. It's something very simple, but it's something to watch with players of like how quick do they get from the pump fake of the full pump fake.
Explosive as hell, dude.
That's why I noticed that immediately where I'm talking. He did a full pump fake and it was gone. And I was like,
he's got a great pump fake too.
Oh, dude. Amazing. And that's what I'm saying. Fundamentally, that's a great thing. And that's something that he can actually like build on. And you might actually get something great from it. If you can have a dude where the reason why I brought up Jaylen Brown was because Jaylen Brown playing off of Jason Tatum is absolutely perfect because he doesn't have to be the dude. He doesn't have to handle the ball the whole time. Versus if you have let's say you have a high usage player with Cooper Flagg, he can play with them. He can play with them very easily. And whenever you tell people that, hey, this dude's not exactly, like Dylan Harper, I don't know if you watch a lot of him. He's the high usage mold player coming into this draft, which is the main reason why I have him number 1. But not every team needs that type of dude, right?
You only need a handful of those.
Use a Cooper Flagg. You only need, exactly. If you already have one, I need Cooper Flagg on my team because I need a dude that can be effective in every single situation without the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
That is somebody that I need. So as we're looking to build him in the future, kind of like we're saying with Wemby, we would want him in situations playing off the ball and giving him just reps with the ball in his hands. But we want him to be more of an off ball. We want him more to be a player off of secondary and like tertiary scoring opportunities, off of hockey assists.
Yeah.
Being able to kind of make plays like that. Now, passing wise, I am a little lower on him as a passer than a lot of other people I've seen. But I personally do think that he's still going to be great in a 5-out NBA.
Totally.
Because college basketball, it's tough to really play that way.
And to summarize, kind of like, because we're on the same page. To summarize it, I think the way you describe Cooper as, sure, he is not the machine. He is a cog in the machine, but he's such a good cog that when you just let the machine do its thing, he will rise to the top and he will give you big numbers. And he doesn't need to be this great passer. He doesn't need to be this crazy shot creator. Like, you just got to let him, when he does get his opportunities, like, tell him to be aggressive, get him in that mindset. And as he continues to grow and develop his skill set in the NBA at the next level, then like, sure, he's going to be a little more opportunistic, and he might get to the point where a handful of times a game, you're like, get him the ball and get out of the way, like a Jaylen Brown, based on matchups too. But I like that. I kept having that thought of like, sure, he's not the piece, because if you look at the Mavs, it's like, a lot of teams is, you have the big cog and then all these little cogs around it, but Cooper might not be the biggest cog, but he might be like your most important one. And so much so that
that's what I like about him.
He's giving you more than the big cog anyways, when you look at the entirety of the game, because Cooper is a realized two-way monster. Like, he is a NBA ready two-way player. Yeah. Like, he will be a very, very impactful defender right away. And he'll be a good offensive player, but like solid. It's just a question of how quickly does he turn into a beast on that side of the floor. Because he's already going to be one defensively.
Oh yeah. Cooper to me is a 5-out coach's dream, right? Like a coach that just wants everybody to move, get the ball and pass the ball around. Cooper's perfect for that, because Cooper's never going to sit there and then just try to dribble for 8 seconds. That's never going to
be decisive.
Be decisive. Now he could. That's one of the things that scares me potentially. Is he could though? Is that he has that ability, and he's gonna make some plays just dribbling around and just playing in ISOs. But I don't want him to do that, because he's so good when he's just playing with the team. Just everybody's getting the ball around. And one of the things I watched at Duke is that one of the things that's tough for him is that like you, and you know this from watching a lot of college basketball, is because the court is a little smaller and bigs move a little more erratically, right, in college. What will happen is Coop will sit there, catch it, pump fake, jab, and drive. And you can see how he predetermined everything so well. And as he goes to drive and he's about to pass, there's already a big man in his lap.
It's not going to be like that in the NBA.
Yeah, there's way too much space. The bigs have way more understanding of where to be on a drive. So literally he's sitting there, he's like, and then it looks bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that's a dude that's playing and is making decisions quickly. Especially, again, I like those decisions off the catch versus off the dribble, because he does an amazing job. But in college, it's the speed that has to be done is way slower, because if you go too fast in college, you're going to run into double teams and you're going to run into centers being in the wrong spot.
It's just more crowded. It's clogged.
Yeah.
It's like you said, not only is it bigs don't like relocate and T-slide quite as well. That's what we call it, when kind of the big is like moving on a string with the guy driving to open himself up for drop-offs. But you also, in the NBA, you got a lot of centers that shoot it and that will just like get it. Like, I'll just sit at the 3-point line, and if the guy guarding me wants to help, I will just shoot a wide open 3. But I guess like the last thing I'll say about Cooper is that he's so patient in the way he decides when he does decide to get downhill. Like,
you said 5-out coach's dream. Like, yeah, you're right, because he doesn't feel like, oh, I need to get a shot up if we haven't scored in a while. Like, no, he will just make the next play. Just like, hey, I drove and there wasn't anything. Okay, I'm just going to get 2 feet in the paint and kick to the wing and then like get back out, relocate, wait for the next guy to drive, kick, +1. Now I got my super long closeout where I can take a shot or drive. But I do like the way that he's not going to force much at all. He can get a little chucky, but for a guy with his skill set, I'm surprised that he's not more so, especially in AAU culture in America in general.
Yeah, it's more or less with him. You can tell that his coaches were very hard on him. Is one of the things I say is that you can tell with certain players, it's like they can't shoot certain shots because they had high school coaches to be like, yeah, sit your ass down.
Yeah, or just like, dude, you're so good, you're not going to sit, but what are you doing?
Yeah, you
shoot a 3 or get to the rim.
You missed a skip pass.
Yeah.
What we talk about? You missed a skip pass. You missed the opportunity just to get to the rim. You're wasting time holding the ball for 5 seconds. That's why I say through AAU culture, he still can pass by that. If you have a coach that's like, what the hell are you doing? And that to me is like what I noticed with Cooper. Is like, a lot of players don't have that understanding. And thankfully this year's draft, I mean, again, I'm about 12 deep right now, and a lot of these players don't have that in their mold, which is a great thing. But I mean, I got to be honest with you, Cooper. Again, man, I love him as a prospect. I don't love him as my ball handling prospect, but if you have somebody that already can run a team, perfect. Absolutely.
He's a Lakers Anthony Davis, man. Like, he's not a center, but the same role of like, let him be a freak athlete and just a beast and do his thing. And then you're not going to get all the touches, but you're going to get your touches, whether it's receiving, playmaking or whatnot.
Yeah, naturally too. Naturally. Well, that's enough hoop talk. Enough about Cooper and Victor. Great talk.
Good segment. Great segment.
Oh, great segment. It felt great. But we do, after all that, still have something to get off our chest. For this week of therapy session. Nick, I will let you start off.
Yeah.
For Christmas week.
So I mentioned my girlfriend got me Mavs tickets, Mavs Pels for Christmas. Great seats. Super stoked for that on the 15th. But she, on Christmas when we exchanged gifts, she's like, I wanted something to give you. So she got me some cologne. And I was like, oh, nice. Like, cool. And I was like, I love cologne, I like smelling nice, especially for her. And, she's like, yeah, someone helped me pick it out. I didn't really know which one to get you. So I got you this one, and it was like sandalwood and something else, but an interesting scent that I'd never really heard of. I just immediately sprayed it on me and was like, this is an interesting scent. And I couldn't put my finger on it until she said, I was like, oh yeah, it smells nice. I didn't say it, but I was not necessarily sure if it's me, the type of scent that I would wear, but so I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And she said, yeah, this really sweet old black man helped me pick it out. And I was like, that's what, okay. This is definitely an African-American cologne.
Yeah. So you said sandalwood. I was like, oh God.
And so, and she's so sweet. She was like, hey, if you don't like it, we'll go exchange it out. And I was like, no. I like it. And then 3 days later, she was just saw the cologne again. She's like, hey, by the way, don't feel bad. Seriously, if you want to exchange it. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't smell bad, but I don't think I'm going to wear it that much. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a black person cologne. This is a black man cologne. And I feel like it'd be some sort of stolen valor for me to wear this.
Very much.
I didn't go through the trials and tribulations.
Yeah, and also,
I haven't earned it.
You also had to wear a crazy amount of leather with it for it to really hit. So you're not exactly supposed to wear that with sweatshirts.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. You know, I don't even know what to call this. I guess it's I don't know.
I mean,
It's not offensive foul.
Now it would go through. I mean, it's not an offensive foul on him because he didn't know who who she was getting it for.
I think
but
we had to go to We'll just call this like a 10-minute review, like an annoyingly long, like referee review of something. Just because I was like, I don't know, it's great, but
it wasn't a mistake exactly. It
was
just
best of intentions. It was something that they like. It was a hard foul. Maybe, or like something that they thought was like bad, but it ended up just being a common foul. No harm, no foul, nothing intentional.
There we go.
I have it. It's right here. Hold up. Let me grab it.
Let me see. Oh, is it the round bottle? Let me see.
Juniper and sandalwood.
That my uncle has because I had to wear that exact one because I was musty at a family reunion. So he was like, "Man, put this on right now."
Juniper, dude, that is so. I'm gonna put this in. That is so funny. That is so funny, dude. Oh, I can't wait to tell her. I cannot wait to tell her because she listens to the show. She knows who you are. That's so funny, dude.
Dog, that's funny as hell because it's the Goodfellow. I thought it was like a name brand. I thought it was like a different name brand. So I was like, oh no, I never had that one.
She's with the Target.
One more time. Let me see the the front of it. Yeah, I had that one. And I was like 18 wearing that. Look. Like exactly, ton of leather, fucking big ass boots. I was like that. That's wow. That is actually funny as hell though, because I hated it. I'm glad you were nice about it and you really still kind of liked it.
Because I'm like it's not a bad smell. It's just not me. You know.
Yeah, it's not like a putrid. It's just like
it's just different. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Had to bring it up.
There. Yeah, no, well, I'm glad you got, a scent that potentially could have changed your whole demeanor. And good for you, sir. Well, my Christmas, I will say it went well for me. I got an air fryer.
Big time.
It's got a grill.
Come on now.
Because I lost my last air fryer. I don't know how you lose an air fryer, but I did that.
Lost it in the move?
And oh yeah, very much. And this year I just got into my new apartment, and I live in downtown Charlotte. South Park Mall is where I live right next to. So this year I thought, now that I have some money for Christmas presents, I really want to ball out for my parents, right?
Heck yeah.
I got some stuff. I already got some stuff from my folks and everything. I got my sister, and I was like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to South Park Mall, this bougie ass mall. We'll go get something for our parents, right? We get there, and I realized there are no parking spots, and we went at like 12 o'clock. Anybody who's been to South Park Mall knows that everybody that has the remnants of money thinks that they should be going to South Park Mall to shopping. And I was like, all right, great. We're just going to drive around until we can find a parking spot. And I found one, and it was in the distance. And there was a car in front of me, and I was hoping the car didn't see it. So I was like, all right, cool. We're just going to go ahead, and we're going to try to get this spot.
Try to swoop?
Yeah, try to hit him with the little go-around, right? So I went, because how this was going to work is that you can go straight, pass by another section of cars, and then go right into the spot, or you can go all the way around and try to hit the spot like that. So I was like, all right, cool. If I just go faster than him, easy money, right? And then as I go, I then turn the right, and I can literally see him turn his head and look at me. So I'm like, oh shit.
Wait, was he coming from the other way, or were you all going like this?
We were both going straight. So the building like this is that it was straight, and then there was a short right turn, go all the way around, left, into the spot, or you can just go literally like 15, 20 feet forward, go right into the spot.
Okay.
Right. I decided to take the long ways because I was trying to dupe him. And he sees me do that. And I'm hitting the gas low key. I'm hitting it. I turn that corner. And then he is like panicking because he's realizing that I've been taking off. So that he goes into the spot, hits the fucking wall.
He hits the wall?
He hits the wall trying to get to the spot. And I'm like, my sister's right there because she just realized I just cost her to do thousands of dollars in repairs. I'm like, you know the Homer Simpson meme where it kind of just like
into the bush, you just sink back, yeah.
I sat there and was like, I literally backed my car up. and then I just went to I tried to do a 3-point turn. There was no space to do it, so I just sat there and just backed up as far as I could have, and I just let him figure it out. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here, and literally you can see there was dents all across the front of his car.
Oh my god!
The grill got messed up. I'm sitting there. I'm just like, I'm just sitting. I'm just chilling. And then I'm just like, you know what? Let me just turn around. So then I finally make a 3-point turn, and I go around. He still hasn't moved in like 5-10 minutes. He's probably like crying right now. And I'm like, okay, Kaim, you're a terrible person. You're causing problems for everybody else. Just go find a spot. All right. You don't need to dupe people. You don't need to speed through. So I'm like, cool. So I go to another part of the parking deck. And there was this dude that was in front of me. He also couldn't find a spot. So he literally decided to roll in between 2 trees. There was like a little section in the middle that was grass patch, and there was 2 trees. And there was enough space between those 2 trees to fit a goddamn pickup truck. So he decided that he's going to do it. And I see a man go up between trees, park his car, and get out. And I'm like,
that's crazy, bro.
What is happening right now?
Get it how you can, man.
I had to give it to him. So then he kept driving. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to park somewhere different. I'm just going to walk to the South Park Mall, right? And there was like a bank across the street. And as I'm getting out, there are 2 people fighting over a parking spot. Like, not physical fighting yet.
But like arguing?
But they were arguing because both of their cars were pointed in a spot.
Oh my god!
But they were holding up traffic because they were fighting over it. They were all out the window doing this whole deal right here, and I'm trying to leave. So then, like, me and my sister, we're just talking. We're just like making jokes and everything like that. And then she's like, "Hey, we've been here for like 3-4 minutes." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's just traffic." She's like, "No, we haven't moved an inch." And then I look up, and dude, they're out the car. And like people are yelling at them, like, "Hey, just somebody
figure it out,
please! Somebody,
rock paper scissors."
And what did they end up doing is, like, because the dude was more head on to it, is they was like, "Okay, we're just gonna let you take the spot." And the other dude was like, he was obviously walking away pissed.
What day was this? Like, how many days before Christmas?
Oh, it was 3 days before Christmas.
Okay, that makes sense.
4 days. Sorry, 4 days before Christmas. Yeah, absolutely terrible timing on my part.
4 days. If you're not in a huge city, that's not a big deal. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
In Charlotte,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it was like hell. And then I ended up parking across the street at the bank with no resistance whatsoever. There was like 8 spots open, and I just ended up walking across. And it like I could just did that from the beginning, save myself like trauma,
and probably what seems like it was like at least 15, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Oh yeah, 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, no, like legit. Like, and the thing is, I did go back to check on the dude who hit the wall.
Okay.
All right. I did.
That's like as close as you can get to hit and run with no like legal responsibility whatsoever. Is like 2 people going for a parking spot, and you kind of made the other person go fast, but it's still on them. They drove recklessly.
That's all
the spot.
Yeah, no, literally, I'm sitting there because the thing is, I went to check on him. I didn't actually talk to him. I'm not gonna do it. He's gonna beat my ass. So I
You
sit
can't
there.
say you checked on him. I guess technically, I don't know.
I checked on him from a distance. I always say that. I saw him, and I was just like,
You went to
I
observe
was just
him.
looking. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's a better word. And I'm talking like me and my sister are done shopping now. It was 2 hours later. That car was still in the same position. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh God, please don't tell me he's in it. And I'm looking at the driver's seat, he's still in it.
Oh man, you ruined that guy's day, man. You ruined his
I'm not
week.
gonna lie. I probably because the thing is he's already at South Park Mall, so he's already spending a lot of money on presents, right? So then I just messed up his I think he had I think it was a Camry.
Okay.
It was a Camry, and I just sit there and I'm just looking at this car. I'm just like, damn. And now me again, did I force him to hit the gas? No, but how the spot worked, I'm be honest with you, that was a crazy move on my part. Insane move. I did hit that corner mad quick. Now me, I was driving safe. I had some speed, but I was comfortably away from the
Hey,
other
you
car.
didn't hit a wall, so
So hey, I'm doing good. I sat there and I had him. And I will be honest with you, I he should have just let me have it. If we're in this is why I can't feel too bad, because you should have just let me have it. You could just roll around for a little bit more.
yeah,
We
you
all
got
been
got.
fine.
You got
Yeah,
got,
you got
buddy.
got.
Move on. No, you had to.
See?
You had to
Yeah.
ruin your car and ruin your week at least.
And I'm talking Nick. He was he was already about to be in the spot, but I decided that I'm not gonna give up today. And then he goes, phew, and then dude,
Tough.
I was like, brother, you could have just slowly went into it. You could have just slowly rolled into it. I'm not gonna bumper car your car out the spot. you know,
if you were already in it, I'm not gonna try to get in there too. It's like, nah, it's whatever. That's so funny,
no.
dude.
So yeah, that's why I will never be back at South Park Mall again. So that will be my last time, and I retire from that. I will be only at the cheaper malls from now on. So yeah,
There you go.
even though I'll live by it. So this is I just won't. I'm not gonna be back, man. That was a terrible experience in every way possible. Now that we got that both off our chest, I'm sorry to the dude that messed his car up. I don't know your name, and I will never know it, so I don't get hurt. But we will get straight into the draft.
Yes,
And this
sir.
week, to celebrate Christmas, we have a bad Christmas presents draft. And terribly, this week, Nick has the first pick. Because I actually think I think this isn't too good of a first pick, but
Yeah, there's
Nick,
not
you
a
go
clear
ahead and get started,
1-1.
sir. Yeah, there's not a
and
clear
I'm-
one. So
This varies, from person to person, and what your life experiences are. But my 1-1, and this is specific to me, but I'm gonna go a t-shirt because
okay,
I don't know about you, but I have so many t-shirts. I'm constantly in a state of I'm trying to get rid of t-shirts, and oftentimes, very rarely do people really hit on t-shirts.
yeah, they don't know your taste like that.
Exactly. So
you get from parents and stuff.
yeah, and I got one t-shirt this year that I like, and it's something that I need more of, just like basic non-graphic, just like solid color t-shirts. Don't have a ton of those.
Yeah.
Got one, a nice one. It's soft, it's comfy, cool. That's perfect. But like, someone gets me another t-shirt of a college team that I like. It's like, okay, I have just a team. It's like I have so many. Like I'm always trying to get rid of t-shirts, so I don't need more t-shirts. But that's my 1-1. I'm gonna put. I don't even position wise. I'm gonna put it at the 2. I'm gonna put t-shirt at the 2.
There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, lead score right there because my God, I got a lot of t-shirts myself.
Versatile, very versatile.
Yeah. Well, my first one was gonna be very easy. My first pick is gonna be deodorant. Because it's never just a present. It's a message that comes with it. As we've been noticing recently. God, it always comes with a message that I just don't need. I will say this is a slight story of me. It was I think I was 16, and my stocking had deodorant in it. And I was like, why is this? And they're like, you know why. And from that day on, I've hated deodorant as a present. Thankfully, I'm way better with my hygiene now than before, but that was a traumatizing experience. I can't lie to you.
Where are you putting deodorant?
But we're gonna put deodorant at the 3, actually.
Okay.
I know he's short, but it strong punch. So we're gonna
strong
go
punch.
Ahead.
There you go.
We're gonna put him at the 3. Yeah.
Okay. My second pick, and I don't want to make it vague. I'll be specific, but there'll be a message behind it. But I'm gonna go with driver's ed. Something like that. That it's like, hey, it's expensive, and maybe some kids would just expect their parents to just pay for that. But every year for our 15th birthday, the children of my family received driver's ed, like the home driver's ed thing. Cause it's like, it's over $100, but like that. And I think that is like that type of present can be given at Christmas, but, that's like it's my birthday, or, it's Christmas, and you get driver's ed. You're like, thank you, because I want to be able to drive, and
I need it.
Going to the classes would suck. So I'm happy to do it this way, where it's just like you do it on like online. It's like comes with a key, like a password to log into your account and just take the classes online. And then your parents log your drive hours. You log your permit driving hours with your parents. But that's like I'm grateful, but at the same time, this is not, it does not feel like a gift, you know?
Yeah. No, it feels like, you just gained a responsibility.
Yeah.
Actually.
You got more school.
Yeah, there you go. And that weirdly, that's actually close to mine right here. My next present that I didn't receive from my parents, thankfully, but I received from a family member was a textbook. I got a textbook because I was going to college.
Yeah.
And I was given a big-ass textbook. It was history. Keep in mind, I didn't get any lower than a 99 on a history test for like 5 years in a row before I left high school. There was nothing that I needed to know about history. I was all good to go, and I received a textbook. And I was like, yeah, this is hell right here. Keep in mind, I didn't want to choose. Then I got more school. So, we're going to put textbook at the 4. Real sturdy. Really keep it well down low. That was a rough one. That was a terrible Christmas present. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, textbook at the 4. You got deodorant at the 3. You got your forwards figured out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, I didn't say where I'm putting driver's ed. I'm putting driver's ed at the 5. Yeah. Just big, clunky in the way. You know, it's kind of inconvenient.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000% in the way. Yep.
Okay, so my next pick, I'm gonna go with the gift card to the place that you never go.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, you've now given me a chore, and oftentimes the gift card is not enough to get something at the place that you never go. So you just have to spend money as well at a place that you wouldn't have gone if you wouldn't have gotten the gift card.
Like a $20 Olive Garden gift card.
Yeah, it's like I mean, if I'm going to go, I could go to Olive Garden by myself and still probably have to pay like $25 to $30.
Yeah.
So like, now I just going to a place I don't like that much for $5. Some gift cards are great. That's why I didn't say all gift cards. Like even a gift card that's not enough to get. Like I got a Dick's gift card this year. It was $25. Super grateful for that. Like I'll get something and I'll be like, oh, this thing that's like $50, like this nice pair of athletic shorts or like a whatever is like $50 or like $60. Like, yeah, I get $25 off of it. That's great. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're putting the gift card, we're putting it at the 4. So I got just very one dimensional. Just go out there, rebound, play defense. That's all we need you to do.
There you go. Yeah. Cause it's it's like getting Bass Pro Shops gift card, and you're like, brother, I have never even smelled that thing. Yeah. Like I'm with you. And actually, weirdly, your first pick of t-shirts actually goes into mine. As being an anime fan, as you can see with the One Piece posters behind me, anime t-shirts. Whenever your family members hear that you like something, they love you so much they want to give that for you, right? But they always get the corniest thing they possibly could give you.
Yeah.
And as somebody that grew up as an anime kid, the amount of Dragon Ball Z or One Piece, I've never, keep in mind, I didn't have watched One Piece till recently, but I had One Piece merch as a kid, and it would be the most nerdiest thing you could possibly, like, I remember there was one of them, it was Goku, like, he was like this, and then it was like, it was just, that was all it was in the t-shirt. It was Goku like this in a white t-shirt. I can't wear that as a teenager. I can't.
It's
I can't go to school like that.
The kid whose backpack is bigger than him has the straps pulled all the way up and sprints to every class has the same shirt.
Yeah, the Naruto run also. Yeah. That is that kid. And I was like, I play football. I can't wear this, Auntie, but thank you so much. And it's oh, man,
got me another t-shirt to get rid of. Or just to sit at the bottom of my drawer for a year or two.
I was every time I see him, I'm just like, okay, well, thank you people for loving me, but no, and it's one of those presents like you saying where like the gift card was like, oh, thanks, because like they clearly cared.
Yeah,
but it's just like no, it can't do anything with it. So and we're gonna go anime t-shirts at the one also to match yours.
All right, there we go. Got to cancel out the t-shirts.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, for my next pick, I'm going to go with, and I want to be specific, but I keep finding myself being a little more general. I might have to be a little vague on this one because I can't think of the perfect thing to describe this, but like piece of home tech that it's like, oh, cool, like a Google Home.
Oh, like, okay,
nice, but like,
no way I'm using this.
I'm not really going to use it. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. Or like, I don't know. The best way I can think to describe it is like a Google Home, like home tech. That's like my life doesn't change with this or without it. This is just like another thing that I have in my house now that takes up a little bit of space. But like, thank you. Yeah. I feel like such a dickhole like about this. It's like all these gifts people get for me suck.
No, I'm like such a little shit. It's like it's not even being ungrateful. I genuinely can't do anything with this.
Yeah, like,
It's as long as you're good at being grateful in the moment. That's what matters at the end of the day. So that's to be fine with that one.
I'm putting Google Home at my small forward. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Okay, there we go. Actually, that's kind of perfect. Actually,
yeah.
I will say I didn't expect Google Home to be on here, but now that you explained it, I fully understand. All right, now that I think about it. All right, the next one. This is a very popular girlfriend present of a hat.
That is a fantastic pick, and I know exactly why.
So, my girlfriend of a few years of now is now a year ago. She on Christmas is with me all the time, seen me all the time. Is we talk all day. She sees what's on my head, and got me a fitted cap. And I sat there, it was like, what the living hell can I do with this with this hat? And then she was like, "Oh,
flat,
well, I thought you
flat or curved fitted."
It was a flat.
Okay,
it was a flat.
Better than curved fitted.
Yeah, the curved. No
better
way.
Than like the divorced dad, like backwards fitted curved hat.
No, it was a nice hat, and on top of it, it was DC. It was like it was the Commanders.
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
And so keep in mind, I also am a Ravens fan. But she did that as a joke, though. She had an actual Ravens like T-shirt for me.
Okay, cool.
After that, so it was a joke, right? But like the Commander's cap, she actually was like, expecting me like to use it at some point. So I tried it, and I pushed my hair all the way down like this, and I tried to put it on, and it looked stupid. So it was cap, but yeah, hat.
Fitted hats rarely don't look stupid.
Yeah, fitted hats when you actually like have a short haircut or something cool. I've had long hair my whole life, So we're gonna put fitted cap at the 2 for me personally. And again, I've got my dad like 8 caps in his life, so I'm speaking probably for him too. So
Fair.
yeah,
Fair. Also, like
we'll put fitted
hats. I don't know about you, but my head is weird, and like I'm very particular about. I very rarely do I order hats online, and if I do, I'm like I understand that I'm rolling the dice on if this is going to fit my head and if I will ever wear it or not.
Yeah.
So I bought some hats and I put it on. I'm like I look like an idiot in this. Why? Like if I would have tried this on in a store, I would have never bought it, but I just ordered it.
Yeah. There's a fine line with hats that like because I wear bucket hats. Like I'll wear bucket hats.
You have bucket hat hair. You can pull off a bucket hat for sure.
But it's the thing, I'm into fashion though. So it's like if you're not into fashion in any way possible, bucket hats look dumb. Because you're just wearing this white t-shirt with this big ass bucket hat in your head. But like if you just like caps are for like casual wear. Like if you just trying to wear, like just put something on and like it's the easiest like, oh, I don't know what to get him. Give him a hat of his favorite team or something. And it's like it's that. It was rough.
Okay. Okay. So for my last pick, I'm going to go with juniper and sandalwood cologne for a white man. Sorry, girlfriend, if you're listening. The intention was great.
Just for the wrong person. It wouldn't even been for me.
Yeah.
and she loved the thought. I absolutely love the thought.
And it was paired with a fantastic gift of Mavericks tickets. She knows me.
There you go. And Mavericks tickets is amazing.
And it will be exchanged out for a different cologne.
Yes.
That does not smell like a 60-year-old black man.
Yeah, that would be a very odd scent. I could imagine.
What if you walked up to me like in a job interview and you smelled that and you're like, "Why you smell like my uncle, bro?"
Like, what's wrong with you?
Why do you smell like my problematic uncle that is always like gets into an argument with someone at every family gathering?
Yeah, I'm about to say your voice just goes like 8 octaves deeper. She'd be like, how's it going? It's like, oh God, Nick, what happened?
I started saying, so the hell is this shit all the time?
For no reason. In normal situations. See, that's why you couldn't keep that cologne. She'll understand. If we got it, it would have gotten terrible over
Started smoking like Black and Milds outside and calling them cigars.
What happened to Nick, man? I don't know. Since he got those cologne, man, it's been over for him.
Why does he have so much leather now?
I just realized I need my 5. And I realized that I don't have a good 5 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm putting cologne at the 2. That's my 2 guard.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. It's at the 2. Whatever. Move on.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of it.
Cologne at the 2 still weirdly still makes sense.
Yeah.
For my 5, I need something big and bulky that takes up space and is there for absolutely no reason. And now that I'm thinking about it, it was a gift I got from also a girlfriend that thought this was going to be the greatest gift of all time. Of like the sun visor thing, where you put like in the summer with like so that your car isn't like burning on the inside.
Oh yeah, the windshield visor.
Yeah, so the visor again anime themed, and
can't be the anime stuff on the car guy.
It can't, and on top of it. It was I don't know if you know this anime, My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
that's what I was watching at the time.
Yeah,
and
that's one that you don't want people to know. So a lot of the times, because the fans of that show are weird. For the people that are unapologetically all about it, they like I can smell you just talking about you.
Yeah, no, you can smell them from a mile away. And I sat there and was like, she got it, and I was like, I had it in my head. I'm like,
I can't ever use this shit. Ever.
Oh, I could never. And the thing is, I literally threw it away. But like she literally came over to like the apartment to help out, and then she was like, "Hey, where's it at?" I was like, "Oh,
what now?"
What?
You didn't get that from me. That must have been one of your other boyfriends, and you flip it on her and gaslight the shit out of her. That's how you do it.
No, see this thing, because we're friends now, and so I was sitting there. I was like, I think my parents kept it somewhere. I think. It's like, really? He's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, I think they got it somewhere because my sister, I played the same joke with her because I was gonna get her My Hero Academia backpack to wear to school. But she was like, I'm gonna get bullied, so I will literally slap you if you get me that. So I didn't do it. But then like my ex-girlfriend literally did that. So now I'm the ass of this joke. So yeah, we're gonna put useless car item anime merch at the 5.
There we go.
Yeah, so there we go. So that's starting 5. I'll run through my starting 5 first.
Go ahead.
At the 1, we have anime t-shirt. At the 2, we have deodorant. At the 3, we have a cap, fitted cap for somebody with long hair. Dad cap, even worse, I mind you. 4, we got textbook, and we got number 5, anime merch of things you do not need.
Here we go. All right, yeah. I got just t-shirt, especially when you have way too many at the 1. I got black man's cologne for a white person at the 2. I got Google Home at the 3, or just like miscellaneous home tech stuff. I got what was my 4? I'm blanking.
It was driver's ed.
No, driver's ed was my 5. I said it was strong. Okay. Do one thing.
Gift card.
Gift card to a place you never go. Thank you. Gift card to a place you never go at the 4, and then driver's ed at the 5.
There we go. All right. It'll start at 5. I'm going to be honest with you. That gift card pick, that's a good pull.
That might be the Draymond Green in the second round type pick.
Like, that's a crazy, because I'm going to be honest with you.
Jokic during the quesarito commercial.
See, because every time that's happened, I forgot that it happened.
Yeah.
Like now that you bring it up.
The gift card is like it's literally like black. It's like a white gift card that by the time you realize that it's still in your wallet from 5 years ago Christmas, it's just like it's expired. Or like the barcode is just like rubbed off, and you go to a place where it still works, and like they have to type in the code on the back because they can't scan it.
Yeah. No, literally I got one to Red Lobster. And I
$15 to Red Lobster. Thanks. You just got me a $40 purchase for Christmas.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. It was $20, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I guess that saves me $20 at Red Lobster. The problem is I had no Red Lobsters close to where I was at. So I literally 2 years later, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw this away because I still didn't live next to a Red Lobster. So I was like, yeah, forget this. I totally forgot about presents like that. That's bad. That's a good pull. You know, in the caps. I'm sorry for anybody that got PTSD on the
hats in general is a good one, but the fitted cap story is kind of nightmarish.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure most. Oh yeah, most dudes with long hair, their girls usually don't do that. But she just.
I feel like it looks worse when like a fitted cap when you do have a short haircut, like a fade. It just looks like you're bald.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it actually looks awful. Like if you have fitted cap, the ones that go like right above your eyebrows, terrible.
It's just like you turn it backwards, and then like I can just see like half the TikTok profile pictures from comments of people that are like Jordan was way better than all of these guys. It's just like fitted backwards hat right across the eyebrows.
Just. Big ass hat too.
Yeah, and they're like way too close to the camera.
Wide hat. I mean, the brim goes out this far.
I can see like the thick goatee that's like off their face a little bit too.
the cop goatee.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah, see, that's why fitted caps. I just can't do it, man. It's just not at the age yet.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, great draft. That was definitely our most creative one for sure. We're gonna get weird with it. I like the weird ones. That was definitely hard to like lock down the positions for, but that was a good draft.
The
Great
positions
episode.
was hard. Yeah, that was the hard part.
But before we're done, before we wrap up, we got to do our trivia. Last episode, Heem was 1 decimal point away from taking a commanding 1-0 lead in the trivia. What do I want to call it? Competition, I guess. Where we will have a punishment at the end. And right now, it's looking like we're going to do you have to go on live for a certain amount of time on TikTok or Instagram Live and talk about the LeBron Jordan debate for like 2 hours or so, which would be hell. That is our own personal hell.
Yes. That's for hoop hours.
Yes. For real hoop hours, that is the opposite of what we want to do, but it'll be funny. But I'm going to lead us off. I'm going to ask my question. Yes. We mentioned Goga Bitadze, and he is averaging right now 8.5 rebounds per game. Mm-hmm. What did he average rebounding-wise last year?
Okay. So we keep it in context that he was in Indiana last year, right?
No, he was in Orlando the last 2 years. He got traded to Orlando 22-23 season.
Okay. Wow, he's been there for a little bit then. Okay.
So he's had like 2 this is his 3rd year there, but 2nd full year.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that tells you how much I know about him right now.
From the small country of Georgia.
Yeah, there we go. Great country. That also is a state my grandparents are from. Isn't that amazing?
I was there this weekend. Shout out Columbus.
Shout out Columbus, definitely. I thought that was only in Ohio. Now I'm thinking rebounds per game last year. And from the context you've given me, this is a turnaround. This is a improvement.
Maybe.
No, don't do this now, Nick. I mean,
I don't know.
Want to be the exact same. All right. We're going to go, oh my God, 6.6. Final answer.
That is incorrect. The answer is 4.6. So you had the point, you had the decimal right.
He improved by that much?
Yeah, 4.6 to 8.5.
What the hell? What? Okay.
Also,
right,
averages 1.7 blocks per game this year. Like legit rim protector.
Hold on. No, I did see that. On somebody posted a stat about that.
I thought he was a floor spacer. He's not a floor spacer.
No, I think you thought that because he was foreign.
Yeah, just like foreign white center.
I said the same exact thing. I was like, oh, of course he shoots the ball.
Well,
not at all.
I think he actually like would shoot it in previous years. Like his numbers are like he shot 25, 28, 20, 29, 16, 14. And this year he's 0.7. He's 7% from 3, and he takes a 3 every other game.
Jeez, I mean, I guess he gave up on it. I mean,
just good for whenever one a game. It's like, sure, let it fly.
Yeah, for fun too. He's not gonna make it, but
yeah.
let's let him get him one off for the block shot.
Look at his totals. He's made 1 3 this year. He's taken 14. Last year he took 14 and made 2.
That's why I couldn't be in the NBA because nobody's gonna tell me to stop shooting. Let's leave. I don't care. 1 for 14. I'm letting it fly.
I'm a grown ass man with an NBA contract. Tell me not to shoot.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't care. I'm 7%. I'm gonna get the 9% by next game. That's how you have to think. All right. Well, I feel better after this one than last week of getting 0.1 decimal points off. Well, Nick, this week we talked about the Pelicans. We talked about the players that they are shipping off. Brandon Ingram is one of those players. And my question to you is, the shot chucker himself, how many field goal attempts did he put up a game his rookie year on the Lakers?
Oh.
Yes, field goal attempts.
He didn't shoot it a ton, but that was like Lonzo, Kuzma, Lakers. I don't know. I think LeBron was there at that point.
Well, no, it was actually, no, LeBron wasn't there at the time. And actually, I'm pretty sure Lonzo wasn't. The rookie, yeah.
Did he come in before Lonzo?
I think he came in before Lonzo. Yes, he came in before
Lonzo.
Lonzo.
And then the next class was Lonzo Kuzma.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So, yes.
Okay.
So that was the year no Kuzma, no Lonzo, no LeBron.
I'm going to go with 11.2. Final answer.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That answer is hella wrong. The answer is 8.7. And
that's not too far off.
But the thing is, you was going to get around that area if I said Lonzo was there. So I had to make sure 1,000% Lonzo was not there. Lonzo, Kuzma were not there at the time because you said 11.2.
I just was like, I knew he didn't shoot that much, and right away I had 9 in my mind. I was like, it's probably more than I think it is.
This thing is, I thought he shot more, but I remember he didn't shoot threes his rookie year.
No, he was mid-range.
He was all mid-range.
Merchant, yeah.
So when he started shooting threes his second year, his field goal percentage, his field goal attempts went up 13.
Okay, that's fair.
So, yeah, that's why that was one that I knew was gonna trip you up. I was scared that the whole thing when you was like, "Oh yeah, LeBron was there, right?" I was like, "Oh God, I can't let this slide. I can't. I absolutely cannot let him think this because then you're gonna get around to 8.7."
I would have gone lower if I knew that Braun was there.
Yeah, see, strategic. That was strategic on my part. But
fair.
Yeah, but still 0-0.
0-0.
Very much.
I'm knocking on the door though.
Yeah, I say I'm right there.
You've been close twice, but that is our episode, folks. Thank you so much for listening. If you got this far, we appreciate you. You're a real time wizard, sicko type guy. If you've gotten this far into the episode, because I see the numbers, I know who listens, how long, and it's appreciated. It's very appreciated. But if you haven't already, subscribe. Spotify, sign up for alerts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the YouTube, leave a comment. And also I wanted to mention this on YouTube or in my broadcast channel. I'll probably ask it this week, but we want to start fielding some questions about, stuff you want us to discuss. So whether it's an idea for a segment or just a question, we could tackle it in Good Morning NBA. We might substitute a segment here and there to answer some questions, but send us your questions, comment them in an Apple Podcast review. I know Spotify, you can comment on episodes or just find us on social at Real Hoop Hours Podcast on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Leave a comment, something you want us to discuss, but we appreciate you. And till next week, peace.
Peace.